It is I, Github, here again with another Hacker Rank challenge. Today, we are doing one from the Arrays series, left rotation. We're going to solve it in C#, and we are going to put to use some modular arithmetic and get some help from our friend, the Modulo. So, without further ado, let's fish it up. Alright, so this is the left rotation challenge, part of the Arrays, cracking the code interview group, set, kit, if you will. And basically it's pretty easy work with Arrays. Cracking the Code Interview is a book by Gail Lackman McDowell. Smart guy, interview work and stuff. But for us, it's pretty much getting started with working with arrays and, doing some modular arithmetic, getting that modulo out and screwing with the modulo really hardcore. Cool, so let's start. Let's dig into it. A left rotation operation on an array shifts each of the array elements 1 unit to the left. For example, if 2 left rotations are performed on array 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, then the array would become 3, 4, 5, 1, 2. We are basically just rotating it 1 to the left, and to the left for them is basically this way. So, kind of a weird concept to use with numbers and arrays, but if you just get into your mind like a pinwheel with numbers on it, where rotating left would make the next number the first number, or you think of the 0th or first space as some sort of special spot, either the first person in line, or maybe, a power-up item or something in an inventory that's equipped maybe, then this is where this sort of logic would, shine and actually be of use. This is simple programming, simple coding, but very useful code and something that everybody should kind of understand and start wrapping your heads around these more theoretical concepts. Just like a left rotation is, when we're working with arrays, is going to be, like we said, moving the array 1 to the left or 2 to the left in this case. So complete the function rot left in the editor below. It should return the resulting array of integers. Rot left has the following parameters: an array of integers A and an integer D, which is the number of rotations. The first line contains 2 space-separated integers, n and D, the size of A, and the number of left rotations you must perform. The second line contains n space-separated integers. We got some constraints again, basic stuff. Our sample input is 5 and then 4. The first number, 5 being the number of numbers, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then 4 is our rotation, right? Our rotation variable, our left rotation. So 4 rotations to the left, bang, 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 bang. And then 5 would be in the first spot, and our sample output would be 5, 1, 2, 3, 4. Instead of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They got a nice little picture that sums it up right here. This is easy stuff, but again, some people tune out when they see or hear about numbers and working with something like modular arithmetic. This is, it's a complex idea, but it's really simple once we start digging into it. We're going to take all this and just bounce it, because I hate the code that's originally in the editor, because I like starting with a blank slate. Alright, so we're using system. We're going to need those built-in methods always. Class solution, static void, main. Alright, cool. So, looks good. Looks like we're setting it up. Alright, so we start by declaring 3 integer variables of various importance right now. I is a counter, P, I forget what P is, and F. Yeah, again, this is going to be a little bit of a different approach. We're going to use less specific variable names to get you used to kind of thinking on your feet, and while naming convention and having specified variable names is important for working with code, understanding the theory and practice behind it, using short variable names just like you would single letters, like you would in like a math class, is good for sort of breaking into more complicated arithmetic or mathematic problems. So we're going to declare these integer variables. Looks like somebody's on Steam right now. And we are going to declare a string array called input, which will take in this first line and split it. Again, we're familiar with split if we've watched the other videos. It's just going to split it up by a space. So it's taking in this first line, 5, 4, and it's splitting it into 5 and 4. Int n, convert to int 32, because the computer is going to recognize the input as a string array. So we're taking the 0th space of the string array, and we are converting it into an integer and declaring a variable n, which will be the number of numbers in our array. So 5 in this case. And then the next thing we do is we declare a variable left rotate, and we will call this input 1, which is the second number of that line that we get in our input. And that's going to define the amount of times we move our slot over to the left. Now we set up a string array a temp. Temp standing for temporary. It is going to read the next line and split it. This is our list of numbers, our array of numbers, sorry. And then we are going to declare an integer array, which, you guessed it, is just the conversion of the string array, or the temporary string array that we took in just a second ago. So we parse that temporary array, and now we're going to declare another integer array, and we'll instantiate it with the place of n, which will be the number of letters, and this is going to act as sort of a holder array, which we will use to basically store the numbers that would be outside of the rotation. To do some of this math, we basically need to create a secondary array. Think of a parallax effect, where you're viewing maybe like a Scooby-Doo background or something. You couldn't just have the same image on the screen. You get the effect of it rotating by having 2 of the images next to each other. Maybe I just made that more confusing than it needs to be. Either way, let's keep going on with this. to set up a for loop setting an array pointer p to 0. We know this this is like the counter, right? It just looks weird. Sometimes your own code looks weird, and that's okay. There's nothing wrong with it. I don't think, at least for now. Alright, so this is our first sort of modular arithmetic that we're putting into practice, right? Oh, what the hell is that? That's a modulo. So the modulo provides us with the remainder of p minus left rotate. So we're taking p, and we're going through basically f, which is the first number of our array after the left rotations, right? And then we are going to set up an if statement. If f does not equal 0, this is the case that our array hasn't been rotated yet, and now this will start doing the rotation for us. F equals n plus f modulo n. We're running another algorithm against our first slot of the array, right? And then temp array, the first spot of the temporary array, should be equal to the p, or the array pointer of our final array. Alright, and now we are going to set up the for loop, which sets I to 0. I is going to be less than n, our number of numbers in the array, I plus plus. And for each number in the array, we are going to deliver our output, temp array I, the counter plus a space, which will write the new array to the console. Bada bing. No errors. Damn it. Alright, gosh, where is it? 27? Stupid. Is that seriously it? Always forgetting semicolons on these. Whoa, this is deeper. Type string does not contain a definition. Ooh, alright. So here's the problem. A temp shouldn't be a temp dot into in32.parse. This convert all takes in 2 arguments. The first being a non-integer data type that you want to convert to an integer, and then the second being the method that we're going to be running against, the 32-bit signed, whatever it is, and parsing it out. So that needs to be a comma and not a dot. If you've been following along, go back and change this. Now we're passing the test cases, and when we submit the code, bink, 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 bink. Congratulations, you have just passed through the left rotation challenge. You're getting more and more experience on HackerRank. Make sure to follow me on HackerRank, the same name, Necode. You can always grab the source code from my GitHub. Yeah, check it out. it's fun to learn how to code, and hopefully these videos are helping you. I know they're helping me.